Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith and Black channel here in Ticker Talker, and we are coming into the second week of the month, and we had selected Nasdaq names getting crushed last week, but if you were not looking at the internals, people thinking that was going to spill over and the whole market was going to tank, you weren't watching the internals at all. I'm going to point that out today. So SPY, still an inside month. Handily inside month, couldn't take out those lows. So if you go to the week, here takes out the week 2 down, right? But you're right back in the middle of that month. Now, how do we get out of this week is what we want to know going forward. So this week we uncouple, and what that means is on Tuesday, the second hour is the first time we have separate openings for the month, week, day, and 60 this month. So it didn't mean we don't trade. It just means we gain more information because we're gathering information about 4 separate participation groups. Now we're going to be able to identify them come Tuesday. If we go to the daily, you'll see this. They tried to hit it and then slight 2 up. But as far as the SPY is concerned, you're going to see a lot of things go in different ways. Still handily inside month. So the internals, some up, some down, and we'll get to that. The concern was the QQQ. And Q's, it's important to understand magnitude, right? How far is something going to go? So if we look at QQQ, you're going to see this here. The 2 up, 2 down reversal here, right? And if that works, our magnitude was to take this out, right? So these become an outside bar of that because we know that phenomenon exists. And if that works, these guys can trigger these guys, which they did, all right? So here's your upper broadening formation, higher high, lower low. The question was, are you going to be weak enough to stay below here, 298.09? That would have been important. So if we can break below that, that'll get my attention. If you go to the weekly, you're going to see this. Here, how you're not going to be an inside week. You got some distance on that. If you go to the daily, rallies back, potential hammer, 2-2 data come back into this range. So we'll see. It's closer to doing that on the daily. If we go to the 60, so here's important lesson here on magnitude and when you might get reversals, because you didn't have everything falling apart. You had some big boys, big prolific names falling apart, but not everybody, as you're going to see when we get to the tech part. So here, when you see this, when we take these 2 out, right, we want to stay below that 298.09, right? So if you go to the rally on Friday, you're going to see this. Outside bar, that's broadening formation. 2 down, right? That's the extension. But then you got your reversal here, 302.73, which was above that lower pivot, right? So we're back into the old try we go. And if that works, we're looking for these to be an outside bar of that, and we got it. And it was a beautiful, beautiful rally coming into the close. But so now we'll see. That sets up a lot of potential inside weeks, but that's why we play the game. If we go to Apple, and Apple weekly, here, good chance of an inside week, slight lower low. If you go to the monthly, here, takes it out slightly, but you can see not a whole lot of movement comparatively. And when you have some volatility, you're going to notice a lot of things looking very similar to the futures, and Apple's no exception. Hammer, and so potential lower broadening formation like here. So the question is, do we have short covering on Friday and they re-slam them, or was that it? Because if you look at the SPY, as I go through the groups here, you're going to see there was a divergence. It was nowhere near being a full-down slammer. If you go to small cappers, here, small cappers all hammer. Everything's looking very similar. Monthly, couldn't take out that still inside month. Weekly, dead in the middle, good chance of being inside week. If we go to VXX, inside week. So if they do start rallying back off those hammers, wouldn't surprise me to have that inside week fall apart, because there's still some strength internally in the market, as I'm going to get to. If we go to TLT inside week for the bonds, keep an eye on that, and that's either going to continue or reverse what we knew to be true about the inside month to the downside 2 months ago. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, what? Dow Jones Diamonds is still inside, but they green, right? And so if you're watching the broader averages versus each other, you knew it was a Q event and that potentially that was it. So we'll see. We go to the weekly. Outside week countered with a hammer. So potentially, if it goes 2-2 up, these diamonds go back into the highs, and we'll see as we get to that. So if we go to Cat Tractor, 2 down, but hammer if it wants to go 2 up, 2 down, boom on the week and go back into new highs. If we go to CRM, which is a drag here, we knew about this weekly here. 2-2 back through previous range. And on the daily, sets up this here, which we got. We're looking for the broadening formation to complete. We got it, like so. Small triangle grows, higher high, lower low, higher high, and then boom, take all these guys out. Now the question is, can you stay down there? On the monthly, you had this to tell us this was going to work. What we look for. Didn't have a lot of magnitude on it, but we got a little bit extra because of the Nasdaq slammage. So here, the 2 down by taking out the low, triangle day out. There's your upper part of the broadening formation. Boom, 2-2 reversal here. Now you've got your lower low, and now you've got your higher high. So we'll see what comes of that. If we go to Disney. And Disney's still handling inside month like a lot of things. You want to be aware of that. But you do have your outside-inside week to keep an eye on, 3-1. If you go to Coke, outside-inside week, a little boring. But if that works to the upside, potentially, you can take the inside month to the upside. You can watch that with the Dow and the XLP. If we go to Triple M, been a little boring here, but still has my attention with this outside-inside month to see how that breaks. Got a really tight daily broadening formation in here we'd want to get out of, right? This is your inside monther looking like this here. And you want to get out of there and stay at. If we go to Nike, hammer like most things, Nike here, slight down on the month, doesn't fall apart. So if we can retake this below 131.58, that would get my attention. If we go to UNH, and UNH here, it's going 2-2 month to the upside. Takes out the lows, takes out the highs. And so UNH above 344.63 has my attention here. And that tells us to look at also Johnny John here. And Johnny John took the month down, and it still is down, but it took this out. There's your magnitude, right? So the question is, does it stay down? Good chance of an inside week here. And that also tells us to look at XLV, which hammers back up here, right? And potential RevStrat month back up into here because a lot of things coming back up or re-break below that. And if we go into some of the healthcare names, you can see ANTM doing this on the month. The 3-2-2 magnitude to take this out above 340.98. We've been watching this daily for a while. Drawn this many times for you. If you go back into the archives here, and you see there's your broadening formation right there, looking to take this back up. If we go to Cigna, here's this try we've been watching here, trying to break out of that thing. Cigna presently inside month to the upside. Like so. We've got a laggard in there, Centene, CNC. So we'll see if that can come up. If this starts to come up, would get my attention on the monthly on the 2-2 reversal break over 62.33. And you've got Molina Health here. It would be 2 up, 2 down, 2 back up over 227.87. So you got some distance on that, but we'll see how they take care of business on that. If we go to the trannies, transports. Still inside month, but closer to taking out the highs right here. I think it's still inside. Yeah, by a penny. So it's still inside, but you can see this is trying to go towards the highs. We can go over there and you can look at car exhaustion risk, but taking care of all that stuff. And if you take that monthly out, you might recall this little ditty here. Gunning for all-time highs to try and get out of here. If we go to CHRW, trucker. Here, outside, inside. And the importance about this is the 1-3-1, the inside, outside, inside. And why that's important is that they had an equilibrium, couldn't take out the highs or lows, took out both sides, then another equilibrium. Oftentimes, now comes the real move for the rest of the month over 92.30. If we go to Rider Systems. Rider Systems, just a directional monthly, but as you're going to see, especially in the energy sector, used to be somebody. A lot of these things used to be a lot higher, right? And if this coming out party, vaccine party turns out to be real, a lot of things can just go gunning back to where they were, as we've seen in unlikely suspects like restaurants and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see with Rider Systems. If we go to CNI, Railroad, you'll see this. Here coming up on the outside inside month, Inside month above 112.75. If you go to Union Pack, still an inside month, 3-1er, but now in the weekly, you got this, RevStrat, inside, pokes down here. And the reason this would work is because you have your equilibrium, stopped them out, right, for your lower part of the broadening formation. Then here, above this, 211.60, then you can get this and this out to form the outside bar of all these guys, and then potentially go after that month, because you got Norfolk Southern, also potential 2 up, 2 down, and then back up. And if that works, looking to here, take that weekly up there like so. If we go to CSX, and CSX, once again, just like a bunch of these things on the monthly, the inside, outside, inside. So CSX gets my attention over 93.63, not quite there just yet. Go to XLU month, now just stuck in all of this stuff, still just stuck. Had some earlier weakness here last month, but now just kind of stabilizing. If we go to the REITs, VNQ, and VNQ, I believe still inside month, but if you look at just a few here, EQR, still inside month, but you can see these. Some inside weeks, 3-1, EQR, FRT, KIM. And once again, when I say watching the internals, is watching the sectors. Are they up or down for the week? Are they taking out last week's highs or lows? And if you go to FAS here, inside week, and it was green, right? So when everybody's like, oh, the market's going to tank. I'm like, you sure about that? XLF goes highs. KRE stays inside week here. And if you go to the big boys like JP Morgan here, it's again, I believe, not quite an inside week, but sticking around the highs, and once again, stalling out on the greater monthly broadening formation like so. Here, you've got Citicorp, which has been higher, right? So a lot of these things have gone to the high. Citicorp has not done that, right? And so we'll see right now, inside month to the upside in Citicorp. Wells Fargo here, just kind of stuck on the month, but once again, things that used to be a lot higher. And for the week, I believe you got an inside week for Wells Fargo. Bank of America just stalling out after still going a little bit after taking out this broadening formation, right? After this nice inside month and to the upside, but from here all the way up. There, that's how you do it. If you go to U.S. Bank, used to be higher. Inside week with BMO Harris Bank. You can have PNC inside. You can have Huntington Bank shares inside. All that kind of stuff. Northern Trust here. And so we'll see how they do. Because we got Visa also inside here near the highs with MA. And we had American Express. Don't leave home without it. Taking care of business on this baby. And that was real nice. If you go to the monthly, you'll see this. Boom, boom, boom. 2-2-monther right there, 3-2-monther. Now just gunning into the highs, so you got some exhaustion risk with like Capital One blasting off here too. So we'll see if they keep going. If you go to Pru here, this has been higher as well. And now you got an inside week to try and come after all this stuff here. We'll see. If we go to Energy, XLE. Not very crashy looking, is it? So XLE, nice week going to the highs. Once you go to the monthly. And the question here is if the deaths of fossil fuels has been greatly exaggerated, because this used to be a lot higher, right? And coming back up, XLE, XOP here, and you can see this giant monthly broadening formation where it has been a lot higher. OIH here, look at this, right? Because of the reverse split, when things were looking bleak and oil was going below zero, they reverse split it to keep it alive, and that can give you some more power, man. Look at this. So hopefully they can get these things going. And I don't usually go to the macro charts, but in this case I'm going to, because if they're really going to get them going, you're going to see this. Whoops, this is XOP yearly. So here is where it would go 2 year to the upside over 97.92. Now you got some distance on that, but that's where it would do it, because we know like XLE has got some distance. You can see having a real nice year so far, albeit inside. Remember, it was inside down last year. We caught all that. That was nice. It wouldn't rev strat until it gets up to here, over 61.31. You got some distance, but we also got some time on this year. So could be interesting here in the oil patch as oil itself has recovered significantly. So if we go to Exxon, just, been a lot higher. A lot of directional stuff, though. We don't have any reversals, so we're kind of, we'd like to see a little triangle out, which we don't have. Exxon on the month, though, nice and green. Been a lot higher with the chevrons and all that kind of stuff. Here's your big chevron triangle. If we go to, also another thing, when you see buying across the board, all right, that tells you that they are the institutions are buying all the stocks. They don't care, right? They're not being discernible about company, and that tells you that you can go to the triples like an ERX. Look at this baby. It used to be somebody up here. See that? Yeah. That's when you want to go to the triples, is when you have simultaneous breaks and stuff like that. So you can see this is a nice move after they triangulate out down in here. Boom. All right, almost a double. So if we go to CLR here, a lot of things are going to look similar. I'm just today, for the most part, because we don't have the signals, everything's directional, how much higher everything's been, right? And you can see the CLR. You're going to see Devon, how much higher this used to be, right? If these are all bottom tries. If we go to MRO, I mean, it's really across the board here. MRO, LPI here, once again, the reverse splitters to keep them alive. Oftentimes that doesn't work unless the commodity comes rallying back, which it has. So we'll see. LPI, Murphy. If you go to Neighbor, another reverse splitter to stay alive, huge try. If you go to Oxy, we know that. Look at this, 31. This thing used to be over 100. If we go to SM, just trying to make my point here. If we go to Venom here, you got an inside week. Keep an eye on here. If you go to WLL, another reverse splitter shenaniganer, right? Look at how much higher this thing's been on a reverse split basis. If we go to XEC here, been very much higher. If we go to OIS, if we go to EOG, just some more strength, and you can see big broadening formation in here. PXD coming up through that. Patterson, little guy. SLCA. All this kind of stuff gets my attention. Like I said, we would prefer to have some of these signals as opposed to directional by going 2-2. But obviously on a monthly chart, it could take months, it could take weeks, we don't know. So, but certainly things to be aware of going forward. Slob, woo, much higher, much higher. And if we go down to the weekly, you got an inside week for Slob with Halliburton as your OIHers, and more OIHers to keep an eye on. NOV. Here, once I said directional, we could use a little corrective activity, but, oh boy, used to be a lot higher. NOV, Helmut Payne, all this kind of stuff. Kinder Morgan Energy Partners. Here, and Kinder Morgan set to go inside month and up here above 1586. You're there by 1 penny right now. RRC, another used to be somebody's. And inside on the week. Or even RIG is even inside month to the upside. That's how down the food chain they were going here, at least to start off the month. If you go to the refiner, CVI used to be a lot higher too. I believe this is a high yielder. And you got, I believe, inside week here. Yep. And Valero goes Momo Hammer on the week if they want to bring that up. If we go to XRT Retail. So XRT still being dominated by GameStop, so kind of a mess there. How about RTH? RTH comes in a little bit stuff, but we know that retail is going to be fragmented, so usually case by case or subgroup like the big boxes here. Walmart still having problems, went 2 down on the week. Trying to stabilize with the market here, but here, 2 down on the week there. So I was up on my own, and so remember the monthlies. This has been having some problems for a while, but we'll see. It's early early here. So Costco, a little bit more interesting. So with Costco, we knew about this weekly. Here, that was real nice dumper. inside week to the downside. Puke, right? Now, even if it rallies back, you got a good chance of inside week. However, you do start off the week as a hammer, potential 2-2 back up. If they want to relieve that just a tad, if we go to target, and target trying to stabilize, still keeping an eye on this month. Inside month to the downside, but like a lot of things, they hit magnitude right away. And what I mean by that is we took out that and that, right? So the question is going to be weak enough for that. That's the issue on a lot of these charts, that oftentimes once you blast everybody in the first week of the month, that's it, right? The sellers still got to move down. If we go to AAP 312 on the month, above 169.41. It's there. We go to AutoNation. AutoNation just screaming into the highs, so you got exhaustion risk, but this was a nice one too on the monthly. When you go back, do we know about this? Totally dead. All right, anyway, so it's still going. If you go to Abercrombie, still coming out of the ashes here, got a little more room on here to take these guys out here, about 30.63, like that, to complete that. Once again, the problem with a lot of this stuff too is it's directional. You're taking out last month's highs directly without any hesitation, like an inside day or an inside bar, or any reversal. So we would prefer that, but this is what's going on so far. If we go to Best Buy, and Best Buy here, potential to start off the month, 2-2 reversal back up here on the weekly. If we go to Dollar Tree potential compound 3 goes down, comes back. If you get that 2-2, you can come back through here, and that's going to give you a broadening formation on your daily that looks like this. If we go to Foot Locker, and the Foot Locker giving you this here, another outside inside week, and it's actually inside outside inside. So 1-3-1-2 coming either way. If we go to Fergie in the restaurants, as we've seen a lot of these restaurants really recover. An old used to be somebody if they start serving some food. And of course, GameStop. GameStop goes inside week, so we'll see what comes of that. If we go to XHB, Homebuilders, not really pounding these guys either. Start off the month here. All right, brings them in a little bit. Whoa. Potential 2 down, 2 up, and back through a range in XHB. So you can look at, like they're looking pretty similar. DHI looks the same. KBH here, outside bar. So see if that expands, because then daily that's going to be this here. Take out the lows. Take out the highs. Here's your broadening formation. What your outside week looks like that. So we'll see. If we go to Lennar, also potential 2 down hammer back up through the range. LGIH took care of business last week for us by going 2-2 weaker right here. That was nice, over 118.62. We'll see if that continues with this whole gang. Toll Brothers looking similar. Pulte looking similar here on the weekly. So we'll see. And then if you go to Redfin, related there, having a little bit of a tough time, but you can see this triangles them out here. So we'll see. But for the monthly, you can keep an eye on this, just because here, that shooter down. Took out that. The question about a lot of these things is, can you take out December? That was a real ripper here, right? So we'll see. If we go to IBB. IBB had some nice weakness on the 2-2 reversal month. 2 up, 2 down, right? That was good. And like a lot of things, rally back with market to hammer. So we'll see when you go to the weekly. Another good chance of an inside week. How are you going to get outside of that thing? We're going to find out, I guess. We go to Abbott Labs. And Abbott, still on the month here. 2 up, 2 down. And then daily inside day. So we'll start off the week that way. AERI. AERI, you can see this slight higher high in the day, slight lower low. So how do we get out of this? That's what we want to know about. There's your broadening formation, because if we go to the monthly, we knew it did this. trying to take out that inside month. Now, its magnitude was only to take that out, which it did, but it's a used to be somebody or hoping for more. Or on the weekly, if that try kicks back in, you can see this outside bar shooter. So if it starts coming back through here, then you've got this bigger weekly broadening formation here, higher highs and lower lows. So AERI could get interesting here. If we go to ARCT, ARCT having some issues here on the month. Here, inside, poke up, boom, RevStrat. Took out these guys, the question, and took out this. So the question is, can you take out a little bit more down in here? Didn't really rally back with the market very much at the end of the day either. But once again, it's directional, going straight into the lows. If we go to ARWR. ARWR, hammer with market, but you see this monthly once again. Hits that magnitude, that inside bar, pokes up, boom, take these guys out in one shot. It did. The question is going to be weak enough for anything into here. We'll see as the month plays out. GILD. And GILD starting off inside month, but nice and green. And actually, it's coming up here, and you can see all this kind of stuff here. Once again, that monthly, take it out. Remdesivir, come on, man. Get it, boy. It's been a lot higher, too. And trying to come back through all this stuff, we'll see. If we go to IGMS. IGMS, RevStrat month to the downside. Here, inside bar, pokes up, boom. But you'll notice all three of these months are still within this. Right, so this is how price discovery starts over again. You get a big bar, you get stuck in the middle of it, you try one side, you try out the other side. So we'll see if we get any continuation off that. And if you go to the weekly, you can see it like this. All of this stuck inside this week. This is how price discovery starts over again. You get stuck in here, you try to go to the highs, you try and triangle them out. Here's your broadening formation internally of this thing. If we go to Moderna. Moderna rallies back with market. Hammer, still paying attention to it because it's still got this month to the downside, 2 up, 2 down. All right, so below 136 still has my attention for the rest of the month because NVAX, oh boy, that's nice, and that's still taking that out. But NVAX now starting off the week as an inside week if they want to counter all that good stuff. And if it rallies, you got a good chance at inside week. It's a big range in there. If we go to RDUS. RDUS on the week went 2 down, 2 up, and you'll see these slight lower lows and these higher highs. There's your broadening formation on that. And on the monthly, used to be somebody up to 80 bucks going even further back. And then on your daily, you're going to see this. Your higher high and your lower low. There's your daily broadening formation to keep an eye on. RDUS. Go to Star Surgical. Star Surgical did not rally back with market, and there's that 2-2 monther. Bam! Real nice stuff there below 101.17 come 86.01. We'll see if that continues. If we go to tech. So SMH takes out that month here. Does go 2-2 down, but pops back up. So it's still going to have our attention below 229.49, where it is. However, in the weekly, you're going to see this. The 2-2 reversal up here is where really what you wanted, because now you come down here and you take these guys out and you get your upper level broadening formation, higher highs and lower lows. So the question is that going to be able to continue or not? And to start off the week, like things rallying back with market, and there's your hammer. So if we go to XLK. XLK looking similar. And XLK in the month comes back up towards the range. We're still going to get our attention here below 128.61. You're not there right now. So the good thing is a lot of month left. Hit its magnitude. It took these guys out. The question was, you're going to be weak enough for this. And then, like I said, for a lot of things, all these big long green bars going back. If we go to Facebook, nothing to see here, folks. This thing's doing nothing. Look at look at this. And if you look at the daily, look at this. Look at this inside day, but look, all back and forth, all stuck in this range for now. If we go to Amazon, Amazon a little worse, because Amazon did get this here this monthly to take this out, the 3-2. So this still has our attention here below 3,036.70, but then if you can get back in here, you're back into an old 3 and you're just stuck. I mean, stuck in here, and you did take these guys out. The question is going to be weak enough for that or not. But rallies back with market, hammer time. Netflix, eesh. Well, still would be month and downer here below 518.28 where you are right now, but somewhat stuck in here. You did get this though. You did get a little slammer here. The RevStrat day 1, 2. Boom, down here. Now you got a hammer to see if they're going to bring it back up through this stuff to start off the new week. If we go to Google, boy, they're really killing these things, aren't they? Google's inside day and up. Google a little stuck here, but inside month to start off, but it is green. So we'll see if what they want to do with the gigsters. Here you got your slight lower low, but still higher, slight lower low from here. Question, you're gonna be able to triangle back up through that stuff. You go to Nvidia, we got what we wanted over there. I tell you what, oh yeah, and Nvidia monthly. So we were looking at this. This was an outside month. Took it up into the highs, and then boom, 322 to take this out, and then hopefully take all these guys out, which we did in one shot. So you got that little bit of exhaustion risk on the weekly. Good chance of inside week, but here you get that tight broadening formation in here, and more often than not they test that on both sides, which they did, to expand all this kind of stuff here. The 2-2 reversal, beautiful, right up here, boom, all the way down. But now you got some exhaustion risk by wiping all these guys out. If we go to Agilent, and Agilent monthly, just keeping an eye on that 2-2 down. Once again, took out all these guys in one shot. How are you going to take out this? Right, so we'll see if that resets up, hammers with market, rallies potential inside week. If you go to analog devices, ADI, poke down and comes back up, and just going to make, like with the, here, you can see this, the slight higher high and the slight lower low, so already doing broadening formation stuff, right? So if we go to the daily, I'll show it to you. I'm feeling like explaining a lot of stuff today. Here. You got your slight higher high, and then you take these guys out on the lows. Here's your broadening formation inside day hammer for analog devices to start off. APPN here, and if you go to the monthly, you can see this. Inside month to the downside, still a little bit more to take these guys out. We'll see how that plays out for the rest of the month. AVGO on the semis, once again, took out that month. And hammers. So the weekly, took a bunch of these guys out. You're an outside week now, so it'd be nice if you can take that low out. If we go to AYX, this thing did not rally back, and here on the monthly, outside bar 3-2 down, and the reason that's important is because this was a rejection up here when this went red and went outside bar, rejection, attempt to rally. This rejection is still occurring so long as it's below that. We'll see if we can take these guys out here at 75.17, would be nice. If we go to Baba a little stuck, but keeping an eye on this RevStrat here below 237.65, you're still there. Go to Sienna. And Sienna, inside month to the downside. Here, so that's still good, and that holds, right? So, but now on the daily, you do have this outside bar hammer if they want to rally back and triangle this kind of stuff out. We'll see. Otherwise, you got also have a good chance at inside week. If we go to Coop. And Coop didn't rally back much with the market, but you can see the higher high and the lower low. Here's your broadening formation here off of that. And if you go to the monthly, still 2 down, but you did take this out. So you can see broadening formations without drawing them when you're looking for the higher high and the lower low. You got it. The question is going to be weak enough to come back through this stuff. If we go to the crowd, 2-2 down, just hit this magnitude. The question is going to be weak enough for that. And somewhat rallies back with the market, but this weekly, you can see that. The higher high, boom, the 2-2 reversal back through. And you took all these guys out in one shot. The question is going to be weak enough for more of this stuff and not be an inside week. So we'll see. If we go to Cyber. And Cyber, here you can see the slight higher high up into here, the lower low here. There's your broadening formation on the daily. On the monthly, you're still, let's say, what's the high here? 169.70. You're still inside month of the downside. You just took the magnitude of that. Question going to be weak enough for all that kind of stuff. If you go to TWLO, there's your 2 up, 2 down reversal on the month below 356. So we had some nice moves out of these guys. Once again, if you go to the weekly, you'll see this. Stops out all these guys after the 2-2 reversal off the highs to form your broadening formation. We'll see if that gets worse. If we go to Triple D, this was nice. If this works, what will it set up? And that was real nice. That's the 2-2 reversal on the weekly that set the monthly 2-2 reversal down, right? So it's had a nice little move. We'll see if that sets up again on shorter time frames. If you go to eBay, and eBay, here you can see the slight lower low, slight higher high. There's your monthly broadening formation and 2-2 reversal below 56.25. Rallies back with market to hammer like many things. F5, still inside the month and holding. So if you go to F5, inside week to start off the week, either side of to start off the month, either side of this thing, because you got your slight higher high, you got your slight lower low. Now inside week, keep an eye on that break. If you go to SQ stops them out. Here's your 2-2 reversal, 2 up, boom, back to the previous range, but stops these guys out to see if that's going to just stick there. Once again, hammer, rallying back with market and the weekly. Like I said, taking that stuff out, but for the month, gets our attention back down below this, 213.44, and you can see it did its job. Takes these guys out, higher high, lower low. Can we come after these guys? That's going to be the question of the month for many, many things. Groupon starts off a nice green month. Used to be somebody way up here. It used to be up to like 600, I believe. So just kind of meandering, but this got our attention right here. All right, somebody don't care about price. It doesn't need stock. So we'll see if that continues. I'd like to see a little triangle over there. Intel, and Intel is one of those semis that didn't get hit very hard. So it's a good chance that inside week is nowhere near taking that out. But when you look at like MU, outside week, and didn't really get pummeled like a lot of those things. So inside day to start off with MU. If you go to Okta, and RevStrat Monther, that was nice. Boom, 1, 2, 2. Below 252, trading 215. Question is, can you come after more of this stuff? Watching those big Friday ranges to start off Monday morning. If we go to Splunk, and Splunk monthly here, the 132. So this inside bar break was rejected when it went red on the month, and so this rejection is continuing below 140.82 this month, and you can see this did not rally back much with the market, so we'll see. If we go to MongoDB, RevStrat month, takes care of business, boom, going to take these guys out. The question is going to be weak enough for this, right? And MongoDB on the weekly, you can see this here, real nice, goes up, 2 down. So the question is, here's your upper level broadening formation, going to be weak enough to expand down into this stuff. If we go to TTD got rocked. Monthly, the 2 down, the 2 up, and then boom, right here. So this is a good thing because sometimes you get more than you bargained for, because below 745 was the short, right? And it got down to 561 in 1 week. And the magnitude was just to take this thing out. Your hopes is down in here, but you got a little bit more, and rallies back with the market to give you a hammer, and if that works, you got a good chance at an inside week. But what's important to notice is that when everything turned on Friday, as I was speaking at the Strat Time report, that we noticed a lot of 322s, like the Qs on the 60, outside bar, 2 down, back up, and TTD, if you were on that, you can see this, outside bar, 2 down, boom, there's your 2-2 reversal back into an old 3. That's something you'd want to know about, because that was over 582.86, and this thing rallied back up 663, right, in a couple hours. So knowing this stuff can be very good for Chico Escuela. If we look at NTES, we'll see. So it's going to be weak enough, hasn't taken it out yet, but on the monthly, if it can break 104.26, that's going to get my attention, and you've also got an inside week to start off. If we go to SNPS, SNPS weekly rallies back a bit, gives you this hammer on the daily. However, we want to see that monthly can SNPS. SNPS 3-2 month to the downside, right? And so that rejection is still occurring below this. 242.12 daily rallies back, potential hammer with markets, so we'll see. And if it does rally back, then you got a good chance at an inside week if you can't keep that expansion going. If you go to Oracle, Tech Rec, nope. Oracle goes blasting into the highs, delay off the monthly. Here, inside month to the upside, got your magnitude. Buyers just didn't step up. You stopped some guys out. Now the buyers stepped up. Some exhaustion risk going into the highs, but this is something you would want to look for. Something going into the highs that's in tech during a tech rec when they rally back on a Friday. Yeah, that's something definitely we're looking at. Talked about it. If we go to Overstock, and Overstock monthly here. So you can see if this was a 2-month chart, all of this would be stuck in these 2 months, right? And that's where price discovery starts over again. You get stuck in there, you go to the lows, you test the highs, you come back in. So there's your internal broadening formation of this. But now you would be 2 months back to the downside below here. And that's actually 322 down below 66.61. Still has my attention, albeit hammering on the day like many things. If we go to Corvo, so if the semis are really going to go, you'd want to re-break this month to the downside below 163.25. It's a little tight. You've got an outside week now. Outside week, and it's a little tight in there. So, but that monthly is what I would want to know about, because you're going to get chopped up in here trading this. Your broadening formation. If you go to Palo Alto, nice broadening formation you got there, Rob. Thank you. Daily hammer. Palo Alto looking like that. Now the question is, can you expand that, or do you come back through because you've got this on your month? Still here. The rev strat, 1, 2, 2, hit your magnitude, and that's your broadening formation here, your higher high and your lower low. The question is, can we continue to expand that or come back through it? If we go to ZM, another one that hit the magnitude. So here's what we're looking for here on ZM. Inside bar, pokes up, triangle out, boom, 2-2 reversal, rev strat, 1, 2, 2. Magnitude to take these guys out, which you did, and so your broadening formation coming off that and coming off that. But that rev strat would still be good if they can take her down. If we go to Roku, there's your 2-2 reversal on the month below 378, and weekly takes a bunch of this stuff out, not weak enough to take out this, so we'll see if that can continue to weaken, hammering like many things here. If we go to the team, and the team weekly, seeing if we can come after this stuff. You got your higher high. We're hoping we get some lower low, and we'll see if that monthly can kick back in here. Here, the 2 down, the 2 up, the slight higher high. We want to come down and take this out and go lower low. So below 224.09, it will get my attention back for the team. If you go to sale, 2-2 reversal here below 53.52. All right, so that's still good as of right now. All right, just a few more. If we go to Archer Daniels Midland, still inside month, but it's going to get my attention here. Hammer counter shooter week 2-2, potential 222 back in the highs over 57.97. ADS had a nice little week after last week's video. Once again, used to be somebody. Here she comes. Okay, Borg Warner, BWA. To the tick-tock ticky, and that was inside month, and that's still inside month to the upside, and you still got some more try-room up into there. If we go to American Tire, puke, and we got exactly what we're looking for there. The outside two-bar month just ran out of time, so we'll see if that continues. Otherwise, if you go to the daily, you're going to see this. Because any outside bar, those two, oops, you got to go back little further. Oh, it just didn't draw. That's all. Here we go. Let me draw this. Let me draw that for you. You're going to see something like this. You're going to see something like that. Now, can it come back through? Here's going to be the question. Or is it going to continue to expand? You'll also notice here, why we watch these, the tight ones, to get bigger. You can see this right in here. And then it goes up here to expand. And then, boom, falls apart into here. You watch that with CCI. You can watch that with SBAC Tower. If we go to Colgate, they want to bring up some XLPs to start off the month. It's been having some tough months, but here on the weekly, potentially, would be a 2-2 reversal to the upside to start off the month if they want to bring that back up. Fox A, with a bunch of these media boys blasting here, it's already hit magnitude inside month to the upside, hit its magnitude. We'll see if that keeps going because you had like Disca and really just cranking. So if we go to Hanes Celestial, inside monther here and hasn't broken yet. We'll see if it does. And once again, used to be somebody. If we go to iPaper, and iPaper does its job on the magnitude for the month. It's been higher, but here's what we're looking for last week, if you recall. The 2 up, the 2 down, boom. These two become an outside bar of that. There's your lower low. There's your higher high broadening formation. We'll see if that continues. If we go to IRTC, inside month of the downside, 3, 1, 2. It hit its magnitude of here, but we'll see if that can get any worse for us. If we go to SMAR, RevStrat month, takes care of business, does this. We'll see if that gets weaker. SMAR, RevStrat monther. Space, 2-2 month taking care of business, and that was a beauty this week. If we go to LOGI, there's another 2-2 to the downside on the month. If we go to MCO just trying to take that 3-1-2 to the upside on the month here above 284.99 has my attention. If we go to Rico Suave Gerardo, WAV, inside month to the downside, 2-1-2 reversal. Takes care of business on this. The question is going to be weak enough for this. If we go to PDD, once again, your higher high, your lower low, your 2-2 reversal, taking that. But we'll see if that gets worse below 166.22. TAL. And this gets my attention because you can see this slight lower low and the higher high, and then the outside bar shooter. So below here, this is 322 down below 75.09. Broke there, now briefly comes back up, but that get my attention if that re-breaks. Polaris, PII, inside month to the upside here, over 126.94 will have my attention all month. Unify. Here, inside month to the upside, let's see if we can get a measured move. Up, sideways measured move, and see if we can get this thing cranking. PPG, here, 3-2 monther. So that's going to get my attention here above 142.40. You're there right now to see if we can get that going. We always want to look for a combination that's going to break that, right? What would cause that break? And it was the weekly here. 2 down after the slight lower low, back through previous range, and you see they stop them all out in one shot. You guys are gone, you guys are gone, you guys are gone, you guys are gone, and we'll see if that continues. But that's what you want to look. If this week works, what will that do to the month? If we go to waste management, nice little opening week you got there coming back through here, and that's also 2-2 reversal to the upside on the month, right here. 2 down, 2 up. You can also notice that all of this is inside of this. So price discovery, inside bar, got stuck. Tried to take it down. Now they're reversing, so we're looking to at least take out this, 120.60. If you go to RNG, nice ref strat. 1, 2, bam. That was beautiful, below 362.92 all the way down to 321. We'll see if that continues for you. VIPs, where you been all my life, baby. VIPs, ever since the month, here, on 3 and back into the old 3. Blasting off, and you might recall this. We've been watching this for years. Remember this little ditty? Oh, yeah, there you go. And now it's just expanding. We'll see if there's more to it. And, of course, Tesla's. And Tesla's got some bad ticks in there, which is messing with us. But you can see had a rough week and taking out last week's lows. Good chance of an inside week if it starts rallying, but these annoying things here, they bother me. They just bother me. But you can see continued weakness, but on the day, good chance of an inside day to start off the week, so we'll see how that goes. All right, didn't leave any stone unturned here. We want to see what comes of the second week, right? Everything reconfirms. Any second period of anything reconfirms or negates the first period. So the first week, second week's going to reconfirm or change that. And so that's what we're going to be looking for this week. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'm Russ from the Smith Stock Channel here at Ticker Tracker with the Weekend Vid.